Bang! What is about National Wrestling Shooters members and viewers? This is Scott Gale, the owner, Jim, creator, and founding part of the National Wrestling Shooters. And today, I'm going to give you my AEW Dynamite review. Last night's show was from the HEB Center in Austin, Texas. The commentators for the show were Jim Ross, Tony Schiavone, and Excalibur. And I gotta say, I thought last night's show was an absolutely awesome show. I really loved last night's episode of AEW Dynamite. Okay, here we go. The first match was Kenny Omega and Hangman and Page defending the AEW World Tag Team titles against former AEW World Tag Team Champions SCU and a Tag Team Championship rematch. Before the match starts, Dark Order appear on the big screen and say they await the Exalted One, but let the teams know the Dark Order is closer than they may think, and they will see them soon. Christopher Daniels was at ringside for his team, but tells him he's gonna go to the back to check it out. Even though I am not a fan of the Dark Order because I think they're very quench-worthy, I'm very interested in seeing who the Exalted One is. Rumors are it could be Matt Hardy because Matt Hardy's WWE contract ends March 1st, and if he's in AEW, he will have full creative control of his character like he did when he was in TNA Impact Wrestling when he was doing the whole entire Broken Matt Hardy gimmick. And if Matt Hardy is the one to be revealed as the Exalted One, just imagine what he can do with the Dark Order. With him having full creative control, Matt Hardy could turn the Dark Order around. He could make that stable relevant and very interesting. So, but like I said, I'm very interested in seeing who the leader is and how this plays out and where they go from there. And now back to the match. It's Omega and Kazarian get things going. The two shake hands and get going. Sky ends up cheap kicking Omega. Omega looks at him like, what the heck? Omega ends up kicking Sky off the apron. But he gets back up as Omega is tied up with Kazarian. Sky kicks him again. Page is then kicked off the apron. Double team moves on Omega. Page is knocked to the floor again. The champs with some good teamwork. Page looks for a buckshot lariat, but Page gets knocked off the floor by Kazarian. Both Sky and Omega end up taking to the air and clear each other out on the floor. Back in the ring, Omega with a drop kick to Sky's back. Fisherman's Buster cover two. Page drops Sky. Page goes for a top rope, but Kazarian shoves him to the barricade. Sky recovers, plants Omega and tags Kazarian back in. Sky beats Omega up on the floor for a bit, tosses him back in the ring. Kazarian with a body slam, springboard leg drop, cover 2. SCU is in full control of the match at the moment. Omega looking to tag out, but Page is still down on the floor. Splash in the corner on Omega. He fights back, tags in Page, who swings away on both opponents. Big kick to Kazarian and another to Sky in mid-air. Crowd has done multiple cowboy shit chants. Page with a standing moonsault, cover 2, assisted tornado DT on Page, cover 2. Sky with a cutter on Page. Kazarian hits one on Page. Stereo Dragon sleepers Omega, throws himself to the side and breaks up both holds. Omega with the blind tag V trigger to Kazarian. Snapdragon suplex on Sky. Page goes for a buckshot lariat. Nope. But it hits a powerbomb. Omega with a knee strike to the back of the head. Suicide dive on Sky. Guy on the floor by Page. V trigger buckshot lyric combo cover 1, 2, 3 winner and still AEW World Tag Team Champions Hangman Page and Kenny Omega. I gotta say, this is a very good tag team match in my opinion. Very good. As I said before, AEW really knows how to use their tag team divisions. And both Kenny Omega and Hangman Adam Page and SCU proved it tonight. And then, after the match, Page grabs a bear and heads out through the crowd. Back in the ring, Sky and Kazarian look disappointed with the results. From the back come the Dark Order, Evil Uno, Alex Reynolds, John Silver, and Grayson. Best friends went out to the ring to even the odds. Now comes the Butcher and the Blade, TH2 and Young Bucks. Everyone starts spawning as a preview of next week's Tag Team Battle Royal. The winner will face Omega and Page for the titles at Revolution on February 29. Teams get sent out of the ring with the Young Bucks standing tall at the end of the segment. I love this brawl. I always love the way AEW does their brawls, because they make their brawls entertaining and worth watching. And what better way to do it in last night's episode and build up to next week's Battle Royal. This is how to do a brawl. This is how to do build up. And like I said, AEW knows exactly what they're doing. And then after that Jim Ross spoke with Santana before tonight's show. He asked Santana what he meant when he said he'd show Jon Moxley what it's like to live in darkness. Santana said about 10 years ago he was living in a terrible apartment. Broke, no job, no direction, was at his lowest point. Santana said he called his dad and explained to him the same thing. He talked about his father who passed last month and mentioned that his dad couldn't see, started losing his sight at 14, and was basically blind at 25. Santana says that's what he has to live with, and he wants to show Moxley the same kind of darkness. I really enjoyed this interview with Jim Ross and Santana. I like the way Santana spoke. I mean, he is a heel and he is with the Inner Circle, but in my opinion, he was shown hints of a future face turn. So I'm looking forward to seeing how this goes, because I think if he does, I know that Santana will be over with the crowd. I mean, a lot of people like him as a heel, so he's doing a good job. And then, after that the Darby Allin video, he holds up pieces of cardboard in front of the video camera, saying it was a mistake to slash his throat with his own skateboard, and that he will find the Inner Circle. In the meantime, he challenges Sammy Guevara to a match at Revolution. Afterwards, Jim Ross says Allin has no official return date due to his throat injury. I like Darby Allin. He's one of my other favorites in AEW. I mean, to me, Darby Allin is very talented. He could talk on the mic. He could wrestle. So he has a lot of great in-ring work. And I hope he does recover from his injuries soon, because I want to see him kick Sammy Guevara's match. And hopefully he's cleared to wrestle Sammy Guevara at AEW Revolution, which I think is going to be a pretty decent match in my opinion. And speaking of Sammy Guevara with Jake Hager versus Dustin Rhodes, Guevara immediately goes out to the floor, devises a plan with Hager, but the distraction doesn't work as Guevara gets destroyed by Rhodes. Cover 2, Guevara rolls out of the ring and thinks about heading to the back. Rhodes leaps up the steps and takes out Guevara. He then gets in Hager's face. Guevara attempts the same attack up the steps, and Rhodes clocks him mid-air. Back in the ring, Guevara will springboard, but Rhodes catches him and flapjacks him. Rhodes will throw punches and clotheslines, spinning power slam. Then cover 2. Rhodes heads up to the second rope. Hager heads up towards Rhodes and Guevara able to hit Rhodes from behind. He puts Rhodes on his shoulder, flips him over, and sends a knee into his face. Cover 2. Hager is not happy, yelling at the referee. Guevara on the top rope. Rhodes cuts his feet out from under him and heads up back. Back body drops Guevara down to the mat. He runs back up and gets tossed down to the mat. Rhodes with Canadian Destroyer up the second rope. Final reckoning, twisting suplex, hits cover 1, 2, 3. Winner Dustin Rhodes via pinfall. Very, very good match in my opinion. I really like this match. I mean, Dustin Rhodes, who was in his 50s, proves that he could still wrestle. So yeah. Like I said, very good match in my opinion. Then post-match, Rhodes tells Hager or Jericho's bitch to turn around as he heads up the ramp. Rhodes asks Hager if he's ever going to get in the ring or just pick up a paycheck. Rhodes says he wants a match at Revolution. Hager headed to the ring, then turned around and headed back. I like this. Very, very good, well done promo from Dustin Rhodes. I mean, that guy can talk on the mic. I mean, he was amazing as Goldust and being himself and still going today. He can definitely talk on the mic. And I'm really looking forward to seeing him versus Jake Hager at AEW Revolution. It's about time that Jake Hager gets in the ring instead of just standing there all the time. But yeah, like I said, well done promo from Dustin Rhodes. And then last week we see a recap of Britt Baker breaking Yuka Sakazaki's tooth after last week's match. So Tony Schiavone on the stage, and out comes Britt Baker, who gives him a hug. He asks how she can justify what she did last week. She calls it a stupid question and says, as a dentist, she was doing her duty before the public because that tooth was in decay and it was coming out anyways. Baker continues that she did Yuka a favor and did it for free. Baker then whips on Tony a bit, mentioning the barista thing again. Tony asks Britt about Riho versus Nyla Rose. She says it'll be an awesome match, but both competitors are still number 2 compared to her. She tells the fans to shut their chubby Whataburger faces and get some big boos from the crowd and Whataburger chants from the crowd as well. She continues talking before heading to the back. This is a pretty decent promo from Britt Baker. I'm really liking her as a heel. The only thing is she needs to work on her in-ring work because to me she is not a good wrestler in my opinion, and she really needs to do a lot of work. And I also think that she could do her promos a little better. But the promo that she cut last night she's starting to show me that she can actually you talk a little bit better on the mic than she was before. But like I said, I'm really enjoying her as a heel, and she's actually getting heel heat from the crowd. Not go away heat, but actual legit heel heat. So she is doing pretty good in my opinion so far. And I really like the Whataburger chants from the crowd. And you can tell tonight's crowd, they were on fire. You can tell that the crowd at AEW was having a blast. Unlike the crowd at WWE and SmackDown who get bored, which I don't blame them. But when at an AEW event, you can just tell, they have passion and they love being there. That's what's missing from the one and SmackDown crowd. And then this leads to Riho versus Nyla Rose in an AEW Women's World Championship. Riho immediately hits Rose with a drop kick and gets in a move or two before getting squashed in the corner. Rose charges in, nobody home. Roll up 2. Rose runs over Riho. Cover. Riho bridges up and out of it. Rose swats her down. Tries for a suplex. Riho gets out of it and throws forearms. Drop kicks Rose up to the floor. Heads to the top rope and goes for a crossbody. Rose catches her in midair. Backbreaker and jams her into the edge of the ring. Rose then pulls out a table and sets it up on the floor. Riho, out of nowhere, runs the table and drop kicks Rose, and the two keep brawling as we go to a break. Back in the ring, Riho with a drop kick. Rose tries for a choke slam, but Riho reverses it into a crucifix bomb. Riho tries to go for a 619 block. Rose lifts her up. Riho slips under. Rose drops down, but nobody home. The champ with a low drop kick cover 2. Rose back up, drops Riho over the top rope. Heads to the top and hits a big knee to the back of Riho's head. We cover 2. Rose can't believe Riho sent into the corner. Rose goes up for the second rope with Riho. Riho fights out of it though. Rose bites Riho's face. Avalanche step on each other. Covers super close 3. Riho with 2 snapdragon suplexes. Running knee strike. Misses. She goes into the turnbuckle. Rose tries for a powerbomb. Weehoo slips out. Trips Rose up. Drop kick Northern Light suplex for a 2 count. Weehoo with a double foot stomps. Cover for a 1 count for Rose. Weehoo up on top. Double foot stomps again. Weehoo goes for a third one and hits it. Cover. Rose gets her foot on the bottom rope though. Weehoo runs in and eats a spear. Rose for sit down powerbomb. Cover. 1, 2, 3. Winner. A new AEW Women's World Champion. Weehoo via pinfall. I gotta say, this was a pretty decent match in my opinion. I mean, it wasn't a terrible match. I wouldn't say it was the greatest match, but it was a pretty good, decent match. Right? Because I said many times before that AEW really needs to work on their women's division. They need to take lessons from NXT and NWA. Because the women in NXT and the women in NWA know exactly how to wrestle. That's what's missing from the AEW's women's division. That's why the women's division, in my opinion, sucks just as bad as the Raw and SmackDown women's division. But hopefully they could. Hopefully the women's matches in AEW start getting better. Because like I said, I mean, Nyla Rose versus Weehoo was a pretty good, decent match. And also, Nyla Rose is the first ever transgender in AEW to win the women's title, and she is the second AEW women's champion. I mean, yes, she is a transgender. She really is a guy, but you know what? I know there's a lot of people that are complaining that they put the title on Nyla Rose, but I'm not one of them. I'm happy, and because I wasn't really a big fan of Weehoo as women's champion because she didn't really make that much appearances, and she didn't do very much. So hopefully Nyla Rose, despite being a transvestite, hopefully she really helps reevaluate the AEW Women's Championship. And hopefully she continues to prove that she gets better and better in the ring. But anyway, like I said, pretty decent match. And then backstage, Lexi talks with Chris Jericho. Jericho says Moxie proved that he's trash after stealing his Ford GT car and then jabbing Santana in the eye with the key. Jericho says if Moxie can survive Santana, then next week John Moxley will face Jeff Cobb. Quick vignette for Cobb is shown. Oh, and by the way, Jeff Cobb used to wrestle in Ring of Honor, and he was formerly known as Matanza Cueto, the brother of Dario Cueto in Lucha Underground. So it's very interesting to see Jeff Cobb in AEW. I'm really looking forward to seeing what he's going to do. And then there were clips shown from last week when MJF flashed Cody. Brandy Rhodes joins commentary and talks about Cody having to face Wardlow on next week's Dynamite in the steel cage match. She stays on as we get to our next match. And I'm really going to be looking forward to that next match. It's going to be Wardlow versus Cody Rhodes in a steel cage match. I mean, I like Wardlow. I mean, he is a good wrestler. I've seen him wrestle in the indie wrestling, and I'm pretty sure he's going to be pretty good on the mic because I would like to hear him talking AEW because I've seen him do interviews and he seems like a very good talker as well. So then it's MJF versus Jungle Boy. Back and forth action early on. Jungle Boy getting some of the momentum at first. Action spills out to the floor and MJF launches Jungle Boy into the barricade. Backstage, Arn Anderson is watching on. As we go to a split screen break, MJF continues to beat up Jungle Boy and taunt the crowd. Jungle Boy gets some momentum and hits 2 suicide dives and a flip over the top rope. MJF commentary putting over MJF as he has never been pinned or submitted in an AEW ring. Jungle Boy plants MJF, cover 2. He looks to the deadlift MJF, but he's been selling back issues. MJF with a kick to the face, throws him down to the mat, puts Jungle Boy on his back and bends him over his back. Jungle Boy escapes for the rope. Rope 2, MJF eats a kick. Jungle Boy up top, but MJF hits the rope, so quashing his opponent. MJF then taunts Brandy at commentary. And of course, Jim Ross fires back and just blasts MJF to fire on commentary. And then Jungle Boy with a running powerbomb for a 2 count. Wardlow then shows up at ringside. He slips MJF's ring on his finger as the referee was talking with Jungle Boy. MJF punches him in the face, ditches the ring, hits crossroads for the win. Winner MJF via pinfall. I thought this was a pretty decent match, in my opinion. I enjoyed this match, and like I said, MJF is my favorite heel in AEW. And I said many times before, MJF is one of the best heels in AEW and in wrestling in general. I mean, he can wrestle, and he can definitely talk on the mic, and he knows how to draw legit heel heat. So he is doing his thing in AEW. So then post match, Wardlow beats up Jungle Boy some more with a twisting F5 Luchas, and then Luchasaurus and Michael Stunt went out to the ring. MJF and Wardlow head up the ramp. I thought that was pretty cool at post match. I thought that was pretty cool. And then after that, Pac cuts a promo to Kenny Omega, says all of Omega's problems are because of him. We see clips of Pac working out. The two will meet in 2 weeks in a 30-minute Iron Man match. And Pac says, we'll just see how good Omega is. Very good promo from Pac. Very good promo. I loved this. I really enjoyed it. Pac is very good. I mean, I like Pac. I like Pac's in-ring work. And I like Pac's mic skills as well, and his promo skills. So then the announcers say that next week it will be Hangman Page and Kenny Omega defending the AEW World Tag Team Championship against the Lucha Brothers. That should be a good match. I'm a huge fan of the Lucha Brothers, so that should definitely be a good match. So then it's a main event. It's Jon Moxley versus Santana with Ortiz. Before the match gets going, Chris Jericho, Jake Hager, and Sammy Guevara sit in their private box to watch the match. Both Moxley and Santana have eye patches as they immediately start fighting outside the ring. They brawl out for the crowd and eventually make their way into the ring where the match can officially start. Moxley with chops to the chest. The action spills out to the floor again. Santana near the steps. Moxley charges in and runs right into them. Santana tries to jab Moxley's bad eye right into the edge of the steps. Moxley fights out of it and sends him back in the ring. Santana shoves him back out and hits a drop kick on Moxley. Ortiz laughs at Moxley as we go to a break. Back in the ring, Moxley is swinging away as he hits a double for axe handle and eats a kick. Moxley with a backside pin goes right into a Fujiwara armbar. Moxley with a release German suplex. Santana ends up sending Moxley face first into the turnbuckle. Santana hits a cutter pin 2. Ortiz tries to smack Moxley with the loaded sack. Referee sees him trying it. Santana ends up mistakenly hitting Ortiz off the apron. Moxley with a big clothesline that drops Santana. Moxley goes to the top rope. Ortiz spits a drink in Moxley's face as the referee checks on Santana. Santana for cannonball Senton in the corner. Santana goes up top, hits a frog splash, cover 2. Both Moxley and Santana blind each other completely near the end of the match. They feel around for a moment. Paradigm shift by Moxley, cover 1, 2, 3. Winner Jon Moxley. Really good main event. I totally enjoyed this. Both Jon Moxley, Lee, and Santana put on a hell of a match. And they proved that they belong in the ring, and they proved that they can wrestle. So that I really enjoyed. But then post match, the Inner Circle all get in the ring and beat up Moxley. Jericho whips him with the title and hits him with the Judas Effect, knocking Moxley out. Jericho then calls to the back, and out comes Jeff Cobb. Commentary calling him Jericho's bounty hunter and mercenary. He gives 2 of the items to Moxley in the middle of the ring and stands over a fallen Moxley as the show closes. And I would rate this episode of AEW Dynamite 9 out of 10, 5 stars, 2 thumbs up and an A++. Like I said, I really enjoyed this episode of AEW. As I said earlier, I think this is better than the previous episodes of AEW Dynamite, which are just decent at best. But this But in AEW, they really came back last night and they showed. I mean, like I said, the crowd was on fire. I mean, I think everything about this episode was pretty good, except for maybe the women's match was decent. But like I said, I'm happy that Nyla Rose is the women's champion, and I'm looking forward to seeing next week's episode of AEW Dynamite. Anyway, you stay classy, live long and prosper, and comment down below in the comment section. Tell me what you thought of this episode of AEW Dynamite. And what do you think of Jeff Cobb, formerly known as Maintains the Cradle and Lucha Underground, coming to AEW? Anyway, you stay classy, live long and prosper, and peace out. And I must bid you adieu, good night and goodbye, and bang! And the words of Cat said, bang bang. Peace out, everybody.